Ollie, first of all, congratulations. You're back officially now as the Finn Harps manager. I don't think it was most people's minds any doubt, but obviously there was a wee bit of doubt with you there because you wanted a lot of stuff in situ before you felt you could go ahead with the job again.
Yeah, look, it's just to see where the club is at. It's not just financial or anything like. Actually that'd be well down the pecking order. It's about whether the club wanted to kick on and maybe have pride, attract new people, on and off the pitch. Put it that way to see, can we improve facilities of the pitch, there. Will the stadium committee have driven on there to their credit, but just to see was there hunger and was there new ideas or new people we could attract. We've appointed John Rogers as a commercial manager to see can he reach into areas that we couldn't previous to, and there's other people that are willing to get involved, to fundraise and to try and come up with new ideas of how the club can progress off the pitch in particular, and that's really what it was about.
Yeah.
It wasn't that we were being thick-headed and demanding the stuff. It was just to see would they have the same energy levels as we try and give in our management team, to see could the board and the volunteers and the people that are looking to fundraise and to try and improve facilities for the playing pitch in particular, and indeed training facilities. But to be fair, they've given a guarantee that they'll give everything that they have, and that's all we can look for.
Yeah, because you were pretty categoric, even the euphoria of that Drogheda victory in Finn Park, that things had to change in terms of where Harps were at to compete again in the Premier Division. You signed a 2-year contract with an option, so you're pretty satisfied that things are going to be okay, or at least the way you'd hope them to be.
Yeah, certainly. I think it's positive. I think the people I spoke to, both within and outside of the board, they certainly had energy that I probably didn't see before this time of the year, and probably it's them that have convinced me to stay. They've given me hope that there's a drive in them, and we need that drive. Whether we're top or bottom of the division, we need that drive. It's not just it goes away a month in. We need to have it all the way through to next November, whenever it finishes, Charlie. And I think there's a little bit more energy there this time around than maybe there was in other off seasons. Work began on the pitch today, albeit a month after we played Drogheda in the playoff. But at least we're looking in the right direction. But it's a lot of hard work ahead of everybody, not just me or Paul Hegarty or whatever. There's a hell of a lot of work ahead of people that put their hand up to take part off the pitch, and they need to stand up and be counted here, but I've no doubt they will.
Yeah.
And if they put the effort in that they're talking about, I would have good hopes for it.
Yeah. There's always comings and goings when a season ends and a new one starts. We'll be hoping for the comings in the next couple of months or so, Ollie, I'm sure you will. But there's been a lot of goings, maybe more so than we've ever seen at Harps during your time.
Yeah. It's been relentless, Charlie, and there's a big turnover, especially with the effort they gave and what we demanded from them, and maybe what they've got in return. But while they mightn't have got a huge amount of money financially in return, I think they've got a lot of pride and maybe a lot of good memories of what probably was the biggest achievement in my time here of what the club achieved last year in staying in that Premier Division. You're now going into a full-time league. We're not full-time next year, and trying to compete on that would probably achieve what we did last year. But for the time being, it takes its toll though, Charlie, and the commitment and energy and drive that those players gave, the whole club, was second to none, and I mean that.
Yeah.
And other than that, we wouldn't be still in the Premier Division. But there are easier options out there, and there are more financially rewarding options out there also.
Yeah. O'Reilly gone, Ashworth gone, and Jacob Borg gone. Obviously did great jobs for you while they were there. I suppose the two most obvious ones that have gone and people disappointed about it, Keith Cowan and Kieran Gallagher, two stalwarts of the clubs.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're still hopeful that maybe Jacob made. I don't know whether he's announced he's gone, but we're still hopeful that Jacob might reconsider. Harry came in for the short period of time that he was in here. Dan O'Reilly, in his professionalism, owes the club nothing. He got a good contract in Shelburne, also in the Premier Division beside him. He came up and down that road 3 days a week and was never late, was never in a hurry to leave, and it deserves huge credit along with Harry and Jacob. Of course, Keith and Gal were here, you know, before my time, if you like. The only two that had been in the club before I arrived, to put it that way to you. They owe nothing to the club with the years and dedication that they gave to it. Great examples to everybody that were there. We're delighted that Kieran has come back in as coach for the academy. You know, Keith will be an awful loss as well, both on and off the pitch, with his leadership skills. With, you know, I think remember, you know, when he got the serious injury against Pats maybe 2.5 years ago. Like, I don't think anyone else. I don't think the majority of people will have come back from that injury. But the professionalism, and to be fair to Colin O'Neill, the physio, he put him through the best of care and surgeons, and got him back to where he is, which, you know, at the time, not too many people felt any player would come back from the severity of the injury he had. And to, you know, he's a credit to himself and his family, and he owes us nothing. While we're very, very disappointed that he leaves, we wish him well. You know, from the bottom of our heart. Kieran had a brutal year of injuries. Yeah. He dislocated his shoulder up in Oriel Park, and when he was looking like coming back and just getting fit, he damaged his knee. His knee popped out, and a huge addition to the club over the years, and we wish him well in whatever he does, you know. But please God, we haven't seen the last of either of them, to put it that way to you, you know.
Were you at any time close to not taking this job on again, Ollie?
Yeah, most certainly, yeah. You know, it's nothing to do with whether we got promoted or stayed up or relegated. Mm-hmm. Just, you know, there is, you question, you know. There's no question and commitment that myself, our management team with Paul Hegarty, and indeed every last one of the management team that were there, and I'm afraid to name them here in case I leave somebody out, they bought into it tooth and nail and were brilliant, you know, and they deserve huge credit for. They did it totally and utterly as basically as something they wanted to achieve and did. We wanted to make sure that the whole club had that same work ethic, and that there were people on the periphery of the club who wanted to get involved, had also that work ethic. And from meeting them, you know, on and off, informally in the last couple of weeks, I think if they give the energy and drive that they promise to give, I think we'll be okay. But you know, only time will tell that, you know, and then should they do that, the pressure will be on myself and Paul to try and generate a side to try and stay in this division again, and that itself will be a huge challenge with the amount of people that have left. But look, we're used to challenges and we won't shy away from it. Like. Yeah.
And just a final point, you said in there at the press conference, it was your greatest achievement keeping Harps in the Premier Division this season.
Achievement,
yeah,
Charlie,
absolutely.
Yeah.
We need to improve on that next year.
Yeah, we'd love to have kept what we had, and you know, there was no player that we let go, to put it that way to you. We would have liked every player to come back and build on it, but as I said, there's all these casualties. You know, it's hard going mentally and physically, and last year was equally as hard as any other year, if not more so. And you know, we need to replace them first of all, which will take time. It'll take energy, it'll take a lot of work, and then to try and build on it, and that itself may take time to see can we hit the ground running come the middle of February. Only time will tell, but you know, at the moment we need to get out there and get a squad of players that'll try and keep us in the division next year, Charlie.